On the 14th of September 2020, the UK government announced the Rule of Six, limiting all gatherings to only 6 people. 2 weeks later, in response to increased testing and rising case numbers, the government then announced that all pubs would close at 10 p.m. These measures, taken to prevent another outbreak, despite deaths and hospitalizations remaining relatively low, further inflamed public opinion, with many believing the measures to be arbitrary and draconian. In response, a number of protests were organised by various groups. On the 26th of September, Rise Up and Stop New Normal organised a lockdown protest at Trafalgar Square in London, with a number of speakers, including David Icke, Piers Corbyn, and Dr. Heike Schoening. The day started peacefully with a relaxed and carnival atmosphere, with a large crowd bearing placards and costumes, and a large but muted police presence. The Metropolitan Police had earlier declared the gathering in violation of Section 14 and the social distancing laws, and revoked the event's permit.
Trump!
Police numbers continued to build throughout the day until the end of David Icke's speech at approximately 2 p.m, when the police began to move in with force, blocking off the area in front of the National Gallery.
War is waged by the ruling group against its own subjects.
It does not matter if the war is not real. The war is not meant to be won. It is meant to be continuous.
Its object is not victory. To keep the structure of society intact.
Considerable commotion then resulted between the police and protesters, with a large amount of pushing and shoving and some violence. The crowd and the police were forced against each other for no apparent reason.
If you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever.
First war of the 21st century. War against humanity. slavery. First war of the 21st century.
The speakers then retreated and the crowd was forced out of Trafalgar Square and began marching to Hyde Park.
War against humanity.
Echelon is a part of the global surveillance system. Strictly speaking, it's the part that collects signals from communication satellites in geostationary orbit.
Thought control.
The crowd moved up Oxford Street, chanting anti-lockdown slogans, exhorting people to take off their masks and engaging in deliberate defiance of the lockdown rules, such as having mass hugs in front of social distancing signs.
Actually.
The crowd then arrived at Hyde Park and milled around for about 30 minutes before the police once again moved in and made some arrests for unknown reasons.
Actually.
Thought control. Echelon.
Signals intelligence.
You know you're chosen for your lack of critical thinking. You know you're all chosen for your lack of critical thinking.
The crowd then surrounded the small group of police, who pushed their way out before retreating to Speaker's Corner. Shortly after this, police reinforcements arrived, as well as a number of mounted units which engaged the crowd near Speaker's Corner. The speakers from Trafalgar Square then attempted to resume speaking at the coffee shop near Speaker's Corner, but they were arrested, most notably Dr. Schoening, who was detained by police. The police then sealed off Speaker's Corner, using their usual tactic of forming a line and allowing people to leave but not to enter. At about 5 p.m, they began telling people that anyone left in the park would be subject to a £100 fine, and most people began to disperse. By 7 p.m, the entire area was empty.
That's what he used to say.
These protests are sure to continue in defiance of the UK government's lockdown rules, raising the prospect of even more harsh enforcement, which may lead to a cycle of even greater civil disobedience. Piers Corbyn has already announced a number of other protests in UK cities, and popular resistance to the new lockdown rules seems to be growing, with widespread scepticism among protest attendees about the existence of the coronavirus and the lockdown rules meant to cope with them. Although there is certainly a lunatic fringe who believe that the virus does not exist and that the vaccine is a New World Order plot by Bill Gates, there is a larger group who feel that even though the virus does exist, the lockdown measures are too draconian and violate fundamental human rights such as freedom of speech and association.